So before I get started on the story today, I want to thank my subscribers for bothering to click the subscribe button. It means a lot to me. And I have to apologize because it was probably my fault for not stressing this before. When you subscribe, please enable alerts. And if you're new here, welcome. Oh, by the way, Derek Chauvin, did you see that soccer game in Ukraine? Okay, you probably wonder what's the connection. Well, at a soccer game in Ukraine, a bunch of soccer fans held up a huge, gigantic banner. And that banner said, "Free Derek Chauvin." Oh, by the way, Ukraine is on record for admitting that they have a large contingency of neo-Nazis in their country. In fact, there's a large contingency of them fighting in this conflict. There's a regiment, I can't remember the name of the regiment right now, but these guys are all neo-Nazis. They have the swastika emblem on their uniforms. Anyway, J. Alexander Kueng, the article goes on to say, pleaded guilty in October to a state count of aiding and abetting second-degree manslaughter. In exchange, a charge of aiding and abetting murder was dropped, and the state and federal sentences will be served at the same time. See, this is what always happens. Concurrent sentences. When you serve them both at the same time, it greatly reduces the overall sentence. And the article goes on to say, with credit for time served and different parole guidelines in the state and federal systems, Kueng will likely serve a total of about 2.5 years behind bars. See, this is what I mean. When both sentences, state and federal, run together, it greatly reduces the overall sentence term. Family attorney Ben Crump, to me, he is AKA the new Al Sharpton. Such a phony. The article goes on to say, Kueng kneeled on Floyd's back during the restraint. Kueng admitted that he held Floyd's torso. All of the officers were fired and faced state and federal charges. Kueng's attorney, Thomas Plunkett, on Friday blamed the Minneapolis Police Department and a lack of training for Floyd's death. That is a common excuse given also. When there is a black suspect killed by white police, they commonly use that phrase, training. But when there is a white suspect like Dylan Roof, who shoots up an entire black church, kills 9 people, they take him to the drive-thru on the way to prison. All of these cops are race soldiers. This is something that's going to be difficult for most people to accept, but a concept that most people need to start learning to accept. All police officers, as far as I can tell, and I've had encounters with them myself personally, all of them are race soldiers. They are trained to go easy on white suspects. And I know it's going to be difficult for most of you to accept. So I'm going to read this last line from Kueng's attorney, and then I'm going to end it right there. It is the most ridiculous, absurd statement anyone can make. Quote, on behalf of Mr. Kueng, I'm not calling for justice, I'm calling for progress. Did you hear that? I'll read it again. On behalf of Mr. Kueng, I'm not calling for justice, I'm calling for progress. So there you go, folks. As a reminder, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Please make sure that you enable alerts, as I said at the beginning. Thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Cheers.